Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NEWSBEAT Nightly. Got a few things that we're going to talk about. Hey, good evening, Kim. Thank you. Got a few things we're going to talk about today and go over. First, we're going to just start a little there on the geopolitical front. Not a lot of noise in North Korea, and I mention this because we have been seeing some fluctuations in the market intraday. Again, I know I like to draw all over these Qs charts. What an impressive breakout. Did not see that coming. So on the geopolitical front, North Korea was moving some missiles, which again normally would be a tremendous headline. Seemed actually kind of quiet. It actually seemed kind of quiet, in all honesty. You got your futures up right now, and some very interesting things there. We have an open house tomorrow. Definitely reserve your seat. If you don't have the email in your email box and you're not part of this room, check it out. It's free. It's tomorrow. I will have a special treat for you guys. I'm mainly doing it for the people in my room. But you get to be part of that as well, and you get to join in our pleasures, if you will, with some phenomenally paced news flow. And we're going to be working really hard at it this week, and I'm going to convince you, hopefully, that that's what's missing from your life in trading. See, the problem is technical traders, there's very few of them that really make big money. The big money to be made is in the news traders. So what I did is I tried to build a bridge between both worlds, between news and technicals, and combine them together and take advantage of it. And that's why I think you see the type of consistency that I do through trades. We have 100% full transparency. We talk about our ideas ahead of time. Anytime I'm going ahead and I'm buying or selling something, you guys get a heads up right away. Right away, you guys get a heads up. A lot of times you get a heads up before I get filled, and there are people in the room who actually beat me to the punch on my own ideas and my own levels, because there's that much transparency. See, a lot of times you guys know where I'm trying to get in before I actually got filled. I guess that's sort of what the Forex markets are too, when I share my Forex trades. So with that being said, geopolitical front, rather quiet. Market gapping up right now in terms of where the futures are currently. And let's just get into what's on our game plan. So we're going to start off right here. If you wish to copy our game plan, here it is. You guys get full access right over there. There's 7 names. We're going to go over them. Go over why I like them. And you could go ahead and hit print screen now. And if not, that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share it with you guys again. So we're going to start off tonight with Overstock. Overstock is, Overstock was pretty much one of those names that I said was, something we had to watch. Something we had to watch on Friday. And I'm still holding my calls. They were up a lot of money and it pulled back a bit. I mean, the stock exploded out to 32.25. I know a lot of you guys appreciated that from the game plan. It was a nice little quick trade. But, I mean, this is a company that legally is allowed to have a cryptocurrency exchange, like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, like dozens and dozens and dozens of others. And they're going to have the ability to be traded on Overstock's exchange. It's SEC compliant, making it the first one in the United States to be SEC compliant. And from that news flow side, I absolutely love it. What you might not know, unless you were in the room on Friday, is they actually had a meeting, a private meeting, invite only, meaning it was impossible to get a seat at that meeting. It was a phone meeting, unless you were personally invited. And the cryptocurrency, is obviously the new hot thing. Like I call it, it's the sexy thing now on Wall Street. So what is the sexy thing now on Wall Street? Cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence. Those words get you far. There's words that are always sexy, no matter what. In the biotech field, cancer, one of the worst things to plague humanity. If a company's pulling out a cancer drug, that's sexy, as I like to say, meaning that there's going to be people who are buying into it, simply for a word. It's almost the same mentality as clickbait, as they call it. They're like, avoid these 10 dangerous foods and lose weight now. And they'll show like some weird picture that has nothing to do with the foods. And I'll be like, oh, wow, I want to click that and see what it is. Stocks are sort of similar in the same way. People buy companies that they just believe in and they don't care about any of the fundamental aspects and whatever. I think Overstock will be that company. That is why we're holding calls. Our calls are still up money. They were up, they over doubled in money on Friday. I ended up holding them through that pullback, and I'm still long them, and I still believe in this. I still believe in this company that they're going to get a lot of interesting moves. Here's the funny thing. What happened over this? What happened over the weekend is the European Central Bank cannot regulate cryptocurrency. It would actually not be in our powers to prohibit and regulate digital currencies, said Mario Draghi. That's the European Central Bank president. And this was in response when he was asked whether the European Central Bank plans to issue a regulatory framework or an all-out cryptocurrency ban. So what happens is anything that, prohibits... See, he's not stupid. He's not stupid, Mario Draghi. He knows that if any regulation that goes against cryptocurrency, somebody's going to go elsewhere to trade it. If somebody said you can't trade U.S. stocks in China, people would leave China if they wanted to trade U.S. stocks. The same goes for cryptocurrency, where if it's banned in Europe, people are going to trade their cryptocurrency elsewhere. It's that simple. So Overstock definitely laid out the framework. They definitely set themselves up as a legitimate exchange of cryptocurrency. $35 to $40 target is what I'm looking for. Now that's on the news side. I take you to this. This is a monthly chart if you want to know what you're looking at right now. This is a major resistance trend line here that's being broken. This trend line goes back to August of 2005. I'm taking you back over 12 years ago to show you the magnitude of this breakout. I'm putting short-term target $35 to $40 on this name. And of course, not even a disclosure. I already tell you guys I'm already long. So, guess just putting my money where my mouth is, right? So that's my view on Overstock. I went ahead and I gave you guys a bullish trigger off the hourly where you might get momentum. The truth is I really don't care if it goes or not. I really don't care if it goes up or down. The truth is I'm not selling this thing if it goes up a bit, and I'm not selling it if it goes down. I'm only looking to buy at this point. Okay. Next on our list of setups in our game plan is AbbVie, drug manufacturer of the biological drug Humira. If you've ever seen those Humira commercials, this is where they come from. So interesting enough, Morgan Stanley on the news side, Morgan Stanley raised the price target to $95 from $70 and sees U.S. biosimilar entry being delayed to August 22. If you don't know what a biosimilar is, it's basically in English saying a generic version of the drug. So Morgan Stanley raised the price target on AbbVie, saying that the biosimilars are going to take longer than expected. And, there's a lot of companies out there which make biosimilars, including a biosimilar for Humira. So they feel that AbbVie will be able to continue generating more sales. Not only this, Argus came out on Friday as well, raising his price target to $110 from $90, analysts saying he has greater confidence in the stability of Humira sales over the next 5 years. Of course, given that ruling and that potential entry into the market of U.S. biosimilars or generic versions of Humira. As a result, I love the technical setup. This is what we call a bullish doji sandwich here. You don't have to worry about, our names for the technical terms. I think there's a good chance you're going to get a move up higher in AbbVie. Price target on AbbVie, $100. My target on AbbVie. That's a swing target, obviously. I don't think you're going to come in on Monday and it's going to be up 12 points or 11 points, okay? I mean, anything's possible, but that's, $100 swing target. Okay. And that was AbbVie, and I give a nice little bullish trigger here through 89.35. Let's move on to Khan. From the infamous Star Trek one, where the guy yells out, Khan! If you don't remember that, it was a very old Star Trek episode, and, the guy's on his deathbed, and he's like, you'll be buried alive, buried alive. And then, of course, William Shatner screams, Khan! Well, this has nothing to do with that, just a little bit more of a funny reference. But taking a look at Khan's specialty retail store, if you didn't notice on Friday, they exploded up higher. Oppenheimer came out, upgrading the stock to outperform from Perform with a 12 to 18 month target of 40. Oppenheimer saying the company's credit business under the new CEO is on much more of a solid footing and supportive of a return to expansion in retail. He says the company, alongside with Lumber Liquidators, that's LL of course, is a favored speculative small cap turnaround play. So that should be interesting. Off of that nice little Oppenheimer upgrade, we'll take a look at it. I'm giving a simple breakout trigger from Friday's high of 28.50, and we'll be able to see if we get a little bit of follow through there. Next on my list is ZGNX on the bullish side, and if you haven't seen this one on Friday, little drug company that basically exploded in value. What's going on over here? Well, besides for the myriad of upgrades, their phase 3 trial met a primary endpoint. In English, that is, trials, drugs have 3 phases, 1, 2, and 3, and when you beat the phase 3 trial, you're very, 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 very likely to get FDA approval, because they basically did everything the FDA is looking for to approve their drug. And it's for the treatment of a disease called Dravet syndrome in children and young adults. And it's horrible. It causes convulsive seizures and whatnot. I mean, I don't need to go into the drug's effects. It improved those things and whatnot. A lot of nice upgrades coming out on this one as well. If you didn't see GWPH, like I say, the most expensive or the biggest marijuana company on the planet is GW Pharmaceuticals, as they use different cannabis strains to treat disease. They were also making a drug, if you will, a marijuana-based drug to treat Dravet syndrome. So they're basically saying now that that's why GWPH got destroyed. It actually closed up a little off the lows, but it still closed 11 points lower than where it was on Thursday on this GWPH. And that's because this company's drug looked very promising. Stifle coming out, analysts coming out with a $55 target from 26, saying the results were far better than we expected. Analysts reiterating her buy rating on the stock. And, I'm just going to see if this one gets a little follow through as well. So that was ZGNX. And last but not least on our bullish setup list is a little bit of a wild name. Probably a lot of you have seen it before. Is Helios Matheson, and this one is infamous for having large rallies and large pullbacks, and now it's just sort of in that rally mode now, and everybody is looking at this stock thinking, can this thing head up higher? The funny thing is there is no real news on this thing other than something potentially negative, and that's coming out of Street Sweeper. And don't worry, you don't have to squint your eyes and read it. Basically, basically street sweeper. They're basically similar to Citron. They come out like bearish on everything, like muddy waters, and they basically came out and said the stock price of HMNY or Helios and Matheson has more than tripled in less than 2 weeks, despite disclosure issues that could spark unwanted SEC scrutiny. Okay. So there's actually a bit of negative news. This is more of a momentum play. I think people, they don't understand. Like when I read the street sweeper thing, I'm like, these guys just don't get it. Now, I'm not saying this company isn't worth, less than where it is. The truth is it's a $113 million market cap. So, somebody throwing $10 million at the stock can pump it up a few bucks. Like it's not difficult to prop this one up. But what these morons and imbeciles, excuse me, these people at Street Sweeper are completely failing to mention is something that's public, easy, free information. Oh my God, I'm on Yahoo Finance. What's going on here? Oh look. Oh look. Did these morons ever think to mention that you have a 20.5% short float? And if people are shorting this stuff, basically for every 5 shares, one is short. For every 4 shares that are long, one is short. A little more than one, but you get the picture. So this stock has a tremendous short flow, and you know what's probably happening in a situation like this? People, are thinking that, oh, this company is going to go to zero, they're bleeding money, blah, 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 and there's probably a ton of people who see moves like from 3 to 6 and they start shorting. And these are the morons of Wall Street. This is, I'm not making fun of people. I mean, I fell victim to this in my life. I was that moron before. I've been trading this market for 18 years, and granted, I haven't made this mistake in about 16 years, but there are people who look at this chart and they're foaming at the mouth to short it. How many people and traders who they'll look at this huge green bar? You might be included. I'm talking to you as well. Don't worry. Everyone was in this boat at one point or another. I have to teach people how to get out of this boat because this is how you blow up your account. So there are a bunch of people who are shorting this thing, averaging in from 6, 8, 10, 11, and they see the stock going up and they don't know what to do. And they're getting squeezed, and they're getting margin calls, and they're getting brokerage calls, and there are no options in this. So you can't just buy puts and hope it goes lower. So these people are going to get their asses kicked. I guarantee you that by the time this thing is done moving, if it hasn't, and it definitely happened to some effect already, there are people who were once traders who will not be traders anymore after this trade commences. Because people don't get it. You have people like Street Sweeper saying, oh, the stock tripled. And so it went from a 30 million market cap to a 100 million market cap. That's your big bearish call. It almost reminds you of Citron with Veritone. And I know, traders in my room don't fall victim to this because, we talk about it, but how many people were looking at Veritone, and how many people are watching now? You guys are watching Veritone and you're like, oh, $30, I have to short this, 40, I have to short this, 50, 60, 70, 8, all of a sudden it's 60 and you're like, screw it, I'm out. And then Citron comes out of left field and they're like, yeah, that's what we do for a living, but we broadcast it. And again, I don't think what Citron does will be legal in the future. I don't know how many years it's going to take to get, regulation against this thing, but what they're doing is 100% legitimate. And that's the bottom line. And they come out and they bash a stock, and then all of a sudden you get a big red bar. But what's the point I'm making? Nobody knows when this red bar is going to come in. Are you going to have a big red bar in HMNY? Of course you are. Who doesn't believe that? Does it go to 25 before it happens? Does it go to 18, 30? You don't know. So you have these traders out there who look at these names, they foam at the mouth, they're like, there's not a lot out there. Don't fall victim to that. They're traders who are like, yeah, I make money, 80% of the time shorting this because eventually it'll be lower than wherever it's trading now. But those are the traders, when they're wrong, they'll lose more than they gained for the last 20 times they did this trade. So don't fall victim to those. I mean, there are traders out there. I know some of them. I know some of them at T3. I completely disagree with all of them. They're traders who blow you up. I hate to say it. They're traders who are looking to blow up. You take a name with a big green bar, a drug company, some silly information technology service company, and you just want to short it. All I could do is I could talk from my experience. Do not ever do that. Don't go into a naked short on a name because you feel it went up too much. So I'm coming out and I'm saying this is actually bullish. This stock can easily go to 15 bucks. This stock has a lot of momentum behind it. Do I think it's going to have a big down move? Yes. Do I think you play the momentum to the upside while this is happening? Yes. Do I think people who are shorting this thing got their asses handed to them and will continue because it's almost going to be impossible to predict when this thing falls? Yes. So as a result, I am watching Helios and Matheson for that potential long. Don't get suckered into that. Next, we're going to go to our bearish setups of the night, and we're going to go right over to Fortinet. That's Frank Tango, Nancy Tango, and a little bit of a interesting one here. Just a little bit of a software company, and they basically, you know, there was a lot of talk about cybersecurity space with cyber threats and whatnot, and this company just seemed like the weakest one. It seemed like this one wasn't getting the attention that was really deserved after the Equifax breach, if you want to know what I'm talking about. So the Equifax breach, you know, I do think there's going to be jail time for those officers, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, I mean, it was EFX, this stock right here, this symbol right here. You know, there were officers who were selling shares of the company before they, you know, and they knew about a breach and they didn't disclose it to the public or their customers. The stock went from basically 142 down to 89 and back up to 108. So then people looked at Fortinet and were like, maybe this Fortinet should get some momentum. Nobody wants to go near Fortinet. Looks bearish to me. I think it's going to break under 35.44. I am bearish on this name as a result. And last but not least on my game plan list, and then we're going to go right into our live Forex trades, and I'm going to share a multi-million-dollar account with you guys and show you exactly the trades I put in, exactly who, what, where, when, why, how, entry, stop loss, take profit level with full disclosure. So let's go right into Bungie Farm Products. This is pretty interesting name here. You are getting downgrades on Thursday. You're getting downgrades here on Thursday. Citi came out. Citi analyst David Driscoll downgrading this stock and Archer Daniels Midland to neutral from buy. This stock went ahead and it got downgraded to a $45. No, not this one. I'm sorry, $75 target from 88. Analysts was citing weak industry conditions in oil seeds and grain merchandising, disruptions in global trade flows, and the lack of any meaningful, you ready for this one, grain dislocations are creating a weak environment. Basically saying that if your grain crops suck and ours are good, it's bullish for grain because then we could sell you some. It's pretty much how I sum that up. He thinks this is going to persist over the next several quarters. The stock has been in a bearish downtrend as of recently. He broke major ascending support. Now I'm going to the technical side after the news side. This is how I combine news and technicals. And I do think this one wants to break down. So we'll be looking for a short there. So again, here are the 7 names. We're going to go right into our live Forex trades. We like to call them free X over here because a lot of people copy the trades. I have a few friends who do it as well. One of my friends opened up a $10,000 Forex account last month. His Forex account is now up to $16,000. And it's funny. I almost feel like saying individual results may vary, but they really don't if you're copying every single one of my trades. I mean, based on how you scale, they may vary. If you take half my size on everything, you would make 50% of my P&L. If you took twice my size, you'd make 200% of my P&L. So it's kind of funny how you can't really say individual results may vary as they do, with like every commercial for any sort of trading system or whatnot. So here it is, and let's just fly through and breeze through the Forex, and I'm going to answer every and any question. Again, we're having a free open house tomorrow. Guys should definitely take a look, take advantage of that, get a feel for the room, find out why we're the most consistent room at T3, on Wall Street, on both. Find out what we do well, take advantage of it. It's free to try. And again, I don't hold these things every month. Again, I don't believe in holding these things every month. So I generally don't do it. Let's see. What's going on with the Forex markets? Are they closed? Forex markets aren't closed, are they? Let's see. Is this... That is very strange. My system isn't logging in. Just give me one moment. Yeah, it should be open. I don't know what's going on over here. Just try to answer some questions while this thing is going. I have no idea. It's updating. Okay, thank you for the updates. Connect failed. Okay. I don't know if there's a problem on the server side. So this is actually weird. This is actually strange. I don't know if the servers are down over there. I mean, they're outside the US servers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give trades I would normally put in. If this server wasn't down, if it comes up tonight, I'll definitely add them in. Did you guys get any fills? Were there any Forex fills? Live update, old version, try to download the new one. It's telling me to download the new version. No fills? Thank you. Let's see, just one moment. Just just going to go ahead and fix this. See, just give me one moment. I'm going to try to put in my login into the new downloaded version and see if it works. Okay. Obviously having a little bit of difficulty here. Connect failed. It says it's an old version. I'm probably going to have it fixed by tomorrow, but what I'm going to do for tonight is actually these are Forex trades I can't put in actually at the moment. So I do apologize for that, but we're going to go ahead and talk about that regardless if there were any. Okay. All right, we'll see, and I'll have to write them down on paper. No. Nope. Interesting. Six. Just writing them down on paper. Unfortunately, that's the best I could do at the moment. Something's up. They probably updated their systems. Pass. It's okay. Give me one moment here. I have to write them down on paper first. Unfortunately, this time around. 67472. Okay. can also write them down on paper too. Phenomenal risk reward. This is very annoying. Just because my system is down, I don't want to not give you guys good orders. It's the first time this has ever happened. It should be fixed by tomorrow. Phenomenal risk rewards on these. Well, the US dollar ones look good too, so I'm a little bit frustrated. Okay, so wonder what the hell happened with it. Try it again. Maybe it was just a hiccup? Nope. Live update, old version. There's a live update, so maybe they're just not allowing the old system anymore. Maybe I just have to use the new MetaTrader. 1 second, let me just try one more thing. Just one more thing, guys. Three. Okay, let's see if that works. I have to get the server list again. Okay, damn it. Alright, well, I wish I could put in these trades, but here they are. This is what I got. These are all buys. I'm just going to have to type them out. And if I get it up by tonight, I will put in these orders. It's the first time this happened. Must be just a new MetaTrader thing. But these orders look phenomenal to me. I'm very upset, but I don't wish to, you know, be selfish about it. Might as well share what I have. And again, these are not orders I put in, unfortunately. And if I get up by tonight, I'll put them in. But these are solid. I mean, I'll explain it in a second. And if there are too many decimal places on any of them, just, you know, remove the less decimals is fine. Just 4 trades that I wish I could do. Okay. So it's symbol, buy, sell, I'll just put symbol BS, entry, stop loss, take profit, and I'll save this. I'll go ahead and just save this because if I could get my stuff up tonight. The person, I don't know what time it is in Dubai and London right now, so unfortunately I don't know if they're going to answer me right away, as it is an international account. Okay, so there. Oh, yeah, sorry. Thank you, Ken. Absolutely. Messed up the decimal there. Yeah. Thank you for that. Okay, so if you wish to copy my mock, this time Forex trades, which are, don't know why this system, it's saying I have to update, which, I mean, I really don't care. I really don't care about, but I'm going to need the server information again. Okay, so those are my mock Forex trades. They're phenomenal risk rewards. I like every single one of them. You could see the phenomenal risk reward behind them. If you wish to copy them, please hit print screen now. Now we're going to go over to all your questions. Alright, that really sucked. But again, we will be having a free open house tomorrow. 1 week. Check us out. Alright. Do I think Overstock can pull back to like 27? Let's see. 26.82. It could. It could. I could see that happening, sure. I'd probably be a buyer over there, Barbara. And if it could pull back to 27, yeah, I think 28 and 29 are definitely in the cards as well. What would be a good price to buy AbbVie on Monday? Depends. Is there pre-market volume? Is the drug sector doing good? Where's IBB trading? Is there another upgrade coming out? In terms of best level, regardless of those things, the absolute best level, I mean, $86.18 on AbbVie, Barbara. What do I think of Canopy Growth Company? I obviously know this is a marijuana company. Let's see what they do. So go to Yahoo Finance and let's take a look at it. Alright, so it's a $1.8 billion company that bleeds, absolutely bleeds money. They have a lot of cash on hand, 115 million versus the 10 million in debt. That looks okay. I mean, wow, do they really have a bankroll? So they produce and sell medical marijuana. They offer dried oil, soft gel cannabis products. They look fine. I mean, they look like a standard marijuana company. They're not making money yet. Maybe they should stop paying their officers so much damn money. Officers are making, you know, CEOs making 431,000, the president 455,000. I mean, salaries alone, this company looks like it has a few $1,000,000 in salaries with 637 full-time employees. I mean, I guess it's not that much, but when the company's bleeding money, I don't like to see salaries. I don't like to see any salaries, but that's me. Looks okay. I wouldn't buy it. COR. Coresight Realty. Interesting. Holding up pretty well. Looks like it's on the upturn again, Kathy. Like what you're watching. 1026 are the earnings. Definitely one to watch for sure. Hi Ravi, how many overstock calls am I planning on adding? Um, I wouldn't judge it by number of calls. I'd do it in like dollar amount. So for example, I own the $30 October calls, but if, for example, Ravi, the stock pulls down, those $30 calls will be cheaper and I might buy more. So dollar amount, I could see myself adding between $5,000 and $40,000 more into this stock in option calls, which is pretty heavy. And I wouldn't do it all at once. I'd probably do it in like $2,500 to $5,000 increments. I wouldn't mind getting up to 60, 70 calls. Hey Barbara, you think Nvidia would be a great short if it gets to 190? Do I still believe it'll get to 200? Yes, I do believe Nvidia will get to 200. With all these companies taking stakes in them and whatnot. I think it's a leader in the industry. Kathy had that $200 target from a while. I mean, I guess it's the market just keeps doing what it's doing. There's no reason for it not to. Oh, you meant Netflix, not Nvidia. Oh, okay. Do I still think Netflix gets to 200? Yes, I do. And I think you made a phenomenal short call. So I think both those things, Barbara. All right, Barbara. In my opinion, are gold stocks and silver stocks bearish at the moment? Why don't I just go to GLD? Slightly. I think short-term bearish because if GLD bounces, all your gold and silver stocks for the most part should bounce. I got support on GLD tomorrow at like 120.53. Let's just call it 120 and a half. And if GLD hits there, I probably end up buying some calls. Silver, similar situation where yes, it does look bearish. However, I wait a lot longer to buy silver. And silver would need to collapse tomorrow for me to buy it. $15.05. $35 to $40, Barbara, on overstock. Am I still bullish on ON? Yeah. Still bullish. It's bullish back here. Was bullish over here. It's breaking out now. I mean, the all-time high was 27.75 from a long time ago. Yeah, it looks amazing, Barbara. Can I put them in a notepad? Yeah, all right. I'm getting too late, but yes, I already did. This is this would be my notepad file for Forex. I highly regret that my system is down, but it should be good soon. What are my thoughts on Roku? Do I see a good buy on Monday or am I bearish? I am not bearish on Roku. Do I see a good buy? Yes. The hourly. Something that hasn't hit yet. I see it was down a bit after hours. I think it's going to be an opportunity. It might even be like, for example, if you could even hit 23.65 tomorrow morning, probably be a buy right there, in my opinion. JB Hunt, maybe Q long puts. Quite a run these transports have had. Definitely. And you're going to see me doing a lot more of these overnight trades. I mean, we did the Red Hat. Kathy alerted us to that one. That one was a great trade. We did Nike puts into earnings. That was a good trade. We did BlackBerry calls into earnings. That was a great trade. So we've been pretty good with that. I plan on continuing giving these a shot, Kathy. So I'll probably end up playing everything you're talking about. WGO, cute buy puts into earning. Yeah, and if you'd be so kind to share when you enter those, I would love to look at them and, give my 2 cents on the matter as well. We have a free open house tomorrow. Again, it's going to last a week. Should be in your email. If it's not in your email, make sure you contact T3 to find out how you can join for free. And hopefully you guys will enjoy it. I have no doubt that you will. And we're going to have a very interesting week ahead, and I'm going to be very excited to serve you. Again, special treat. Going to be getting you guys hyper good news flow, the best there is. Hopefully it's a good news flow week, then we'll have a lot more stuff, and if it's slow, we'll still have everything anyway. But I hope you guys enjoyed the NEWSBEAT Nightly. Happy trading, make money, and we will see you guys tomorrow morning on the NEWSBEAT live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.